is Nightline. Tonight, explosive cases, sweats, fever, and intestinal distress.
There were moments where I was literally just camped out in the bathroom.
The severe stomach bug surge as a popular restaurant chain takes action. What have you eaten lately? Plus, social media challenges, viral dares that seem like fun and games, turning dangerous and even deadly.
We miss her. There's no words to explain the hurt and the pain.
The reason they're doing this is because they are chasing some type of hallucination.
Parents demanding action.
7 years ago, I made a promise to fight for change.
What safety measures could be on the horizon? And one-on-one with Lin-Manuel Miranda, the musical genius behind Hamilton. Helping to bring Moana to life with his inspirational new song, Along the Way.
Along the way, along the way.
Making his craft a family affair.
My wife and my kids are the beta testers of everything I write.
And the superstar he might have to outshine on Oscar night.
It would be potentially head-to-head with Taylor Swift's.
Plus, World Cup showdown, jubilation in Argentina. Soccer superstar Lionel Messi does it again as the defending champs defeat England. The epic final match now set for this weekend. From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diane Macedo. Tonight, the surge of an alarming intestinal parasite with horrifying symptoms. Thousands of people across at least 34 states are already reportedly sick. Is this only the beginning?
I just wanted to come on here and say I have the parasite.
So all my For You page is basically people talking about that new parasite causing the outbreak.
So I think I had that parasite that's going around right now that is causing diarrhea.
I think the diarrhea parasite got me. Last week, I had uncontrollable bowel movements.
Today, a growing number of people are sharing their personal horror stories of possibly contracting a parasitic infection responsible for rising cases across the country.
It was bad. It's embarrassing how bad it was. It was really bad. There were moments where I was literally just camped out in the bathroom.
The fast food giant Taco Bell says it's voluntarily removing some ingredients from select restaurants as a precautionary measure. Taco Bell tells ABC News in a statement, "The health and safety of our guests is our top priority. Public health officials have not confirmed a link to Taco Bell or any specific ingredient, supplier, restaurant, or retailer." Adding, "We will continue to closely monitor the situation." The CDC says there are currently 1,645 confirmed cases of the intestinal illness cyclosporiasis in the U.S., with over 5,000 more suspected. And the agency warns that number could keep rising through the summer.
We anticipate continuing to see cases increase, possibly through the end of August.
Cyclosporiasis is a parasitic intestinal illness that causes fatigue, fever, upset stomach, and weight loss. Cases of the parasite have been reported in 34 states from New York to California. But the most cases are in Michigan, where investigators suspect lettuce may be behind the outbreak.
I had eaten a salad out at a restaurant.
Michigan mom Galen Sekulich first started feeling nausea symptoms on Father's Day.
I also had terrible night sweats for like 10 days. Like I would wake up, my clothes were damp.
While the source of this particular outbreak is still being investigated, experts say washing your produce can help protect you.
The mixed lettuces, the bag salads, as much as we can probably avoid those, that's probably good. But the vast, vast majority of fresh fruits and vegetables are really not a concern. Just wash them for about a minute under cold running water.
We turn now to social media challenges. Users posting videos of extreme behavior that seem like harmless fun, especially to young people. But some of these so-called challenges have had tragic consequences. With the EU this week considering restrictions on social media for children, some American parents who have weathered heartbreaking losses are calling for action here at home.
It is called the Benadryl Challenge. The trend encourages people to take as much of the over-the-counter drug as possible.
A local teen is dead after overdosing on an over-the-counter medication.
This Enid dad told us his daughter had taken part in the Benadryl Challenge.
It's the deadly viral trend back in the headlines and may be claiming young lives. Molly Miller was just 11 years old when she died in May.
We miss her, and there's no words to explain the hurt and the pain.
Her father, Mason, found Molly unresponsive in her bedroom the morning after a sleepover.
I heard my son yell, "Dad, it's Molly," and so I knew then to run straight to her room, and we walked in, and that's when I seen her in her room. My son tried to give her CPR.
Miller says he found evidence of crushed Benadryl in Molly's room. Based on later conversations with her friends and looking through her online accounts, he believes Molly died trying the so-called Benadryl challenge.
People are being challenged to take a very, very large amount of Benadryl all at once. And the reason they're doing this is because they are chasing some type of hallucination.
Something he says the preteen heard about from classmates and on social media.
So you need to make sure that there's one other kid that can be helped through what we went through, or one other family that don't have to go through what we went through and have to go through what Molly went through that night. And that's what we're on mission to do.
The makers of Benadryl say on their website, the challenge is a dangerous trend and should be stopped immediately.
Benadryl, just because it is an over-the-counter medication, does not mean that it is a totally safe medication. Benadryl is an antihistamine, and it has a lot of different side effects, especially when taken in excess.
Although the challenge started 6 years ago, for the first 5 months of 2026, poison control calls related to Benadryl have nearly doubled from the same time frame a year ago. What sticks out to you most about these cases?
What sticks out to me most is that it doesn't have to be this dangerous, that these harms are not inherent to social media. They result from deliberate design decisions that these companies have taken to make platforms that are addictive, to make platforms that keep kids online on all hours of the day and night, and to repeatedly turn down opportunities to make them safer.
Miller's just the latest parent grieving a child seemingly swept up in what critics say are dangerous social media trends. From the bizarre laundry pod challenge in 2018,
teens are taking laundry detergent pods and putting them in their mouths,
to the cinnamon challenge in the early 2010s.
The challenge involves swallowing a spoonful of ground cinnamon in 60 seconds without water.
And the blackout challenge or choking game, which predates social media, then spread to YouTube and frequently resurfaces on apps popular with young users.
A Wisconsin family speaking out about losing their 9-year-old after they say she participated in this so-called blackout challenge.
He had tried a viral social media trend called the choking game that the YouTube algorithm, again, had fed to him unsolicited.
Matthew Bergman is the founder of the Social Media Victims Law Center and represents families who say their kids have been harmed by social media. Why do you think this is so prevalent and keeps happening in different forms?
The challenges are a way to kind of appeal to the desire that every adolescent has for status and acclamation from their peers, and it works. It's a way that you keep kids online, and sometimes the challenges are just kind of inane, sometimes they're silly, and unfortunately, and many times they're deadly.
Social media companies like TikTok say they have extensive safety measures built into their platform and detailed on their sites. TikTok also notes their content level system is designed to prevent certain content with mature or complex themes from reaching younger audiences. It's Ali Law, TikTok's director of public policy, underscoring their safety measures on CNBC.
Our family pairing, which is our parental control tools, it is available with a huge number of presets. You can limit time, you can block keyword searches, you can see what interactions people are having.
TikTok also sets an age minimum. Kids using the app are supposed to be older than 13.
People say TikTok has restrictions. Well, they don't have no restrictions, really. There's ways around, easy ways around that. You put in a birth date and name. As long as that birth date and that name matches and you ain't underage, you have an account. It's that easy for them to stop this.
Now governments around the world are taking action. Just this week, the European Union took steps toward restricting access to social media for children under 13. Here in the U.S., parents who say their kids died from viral challenges are lobbying Congress to pass the Kids Online Safety Act.
We have started a huge movement, and we aren't going anywhere until it's finished.
What do you want to accomplish with these lawsuits when it comes to social media challenges?
I want to never have to talk to a family that's lost a child. I want companies to have the same accountability that every other company in America has.
While Molly's father waits to see if her toxicology report confirms his suspicions, he's also vowing to make meaningful change by starting a foundation in Molly's name.
My daughter's life mattered, and their kids' lives matters too. And if Molly's story can cause one parent to have some difficult conversation with their child, or cause one family to recognize some sort of danger they may have missed, I'd say be engaged with them and talk to them and listen to their hearts. That's what I tell every parent that I could talk to.
And now a look ahead at tomorrow's show. We're with Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway, part of the star-studded cast of The Odyssey, taking us into the epic tale many say could be the blockbuster of the summer.
That world is gone.
The whole concept of gentle parenting wasn't really a part of like Ithaca and ancient Greece.
She hadn't read many parenting books?
No, parenting scrolls were on a slow boat.
People would show up and sing.
And when we come back, we are one-on-one with Lin-Manuel Miranda, what the musical force behind Hamilton and Moana says about possibly facing off with Taylor Swift.
Taylor's in a class of her own.
Welcome back. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creative force behind Broadway's Hamilton and the record-breaking soundtrack to Encanto, is now the mastermind behind one of Disney's most beloved movies. A new live-action Moana is hitting the big screen in a whole new way. He sat down with ABC's Lindsay Davis.
My wife and my kids are the beta testers of everything I write before.
They're the focus group.
Yeah, and my wife's superpower is that she's a logic monster. She just asks the logical question. She said, did they repeat that? But it's the reason Hamilton moves as fast as it does. It's because I'm trying to keep my wife entertained. Like the songs, she has to like them before they leave the drafts folder. And now it's my kids. You know, they were humming We Don't Talk About Bruno years before anybody else.
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
All right, let's start with Moana.
Sure.
So I found that the live action is even more intimate than when you have an animated movie.
Yeah.
What aspect of this would you say that you're most looking forward to audiences experiencing?
We hit the lottery and we found Catherine, who has to sing these songs and voice this character, but has to learn to sail the ocean and has to learn how to do fight choreography.
Think it is about adults and kids alike that just people connect to it?
I don't know. I mean, it's thrilling to me that it is a beloved franchise. I think to see Pacific Island culture represented in such a beautiful and authentic way means a lot to folks. I know a lot of parents for whom, like, Moana's a 90-minute babysitter. Oh, yeah. I think there's something about silencing the world enough to hear your inner voice that is really universal, that speaks to people beyond age, beyond where in the world they come from, of like cultivating that inner instinct that tells you who you are and what you're supposed to be.
I think that Moana's greatest strength is not that she's fearless, but that despite her fear, she persists. Is there some aspect of that that personally resonates with you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm someone who has been on stage a lot of times, and the feeling in my stomach is still the feeling when I was backstage at Hunter in first grade for the elementary school talent show. It doesn't go away. And I think of fear as rocket fuel. It's sort of like, depending on where you put it in your ship, it could blow up your ship, or you could like go flying.
You grew up watching Disney. I'm told that it was The Little Mermaid that actually inspired you to become a songwriter.
I grew up with all the classic films getting reissued on VHS, right? Like the bubble collections of Snow White and Cinderella. And then here comes Jamaican Sebastian the Crab singing a contemporary Caribbean number. And I remember feeling weightless. I remember the hair on the back of my neck standing up and thinking, like, this is allowed?
You are one Oscar away from having the PGOT. Is that something you pay attention to? Are you actively pursuing, like, got to get that Oscar?
No,
or if it happens, it happens?
It gets in your head when everyone talks about it. And like in real life, when you're sitting at your piano, all you really are thinking about is, what does this character want to say? The Oscar race is really fun. I'm really grateful for those experiences I've had. But when I'm at my piano, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, what Moana needs to say.
One of the reasons why Moana is beloved all over the world is the music.
Well, as you may have heard, there is already some Oscar buzz potentially for Along the Way, and you would be potentially head to head with Taylor Swift's I Knew It, I Knew You.
It's a beautiful song.
And it is. Both
Yeah.
are. Both of you actually get celebrated for the story telling in your songwriting. Do you see any comparisons at all between the way that you and Taylor Swift write music?
I mean, I'm a big fan of her songwriting. That's always where I'd like the focus to be, is on the writing itself. I've gotten to work with a lot of incredible songwriters. But yeah, I mean, Taylor's in a class of her own.
What can I say except you're welcome? I'm sailing away, away, you're welcome.
You, at one point, before all of this, substitute teacher for 7th grade.
That's right.
Wrote jingles for ads, restaurant critic. Did you have a favorite between all of those diverse jobs?
Substitute teacher. Well, actually, it's funny. My first job out of college was teaching 7th grade English, and I loved it. And so after 1 year of teaching, they offered me a full-time position, and I said, I'll happily sub, but I'm actually going to decline. And I took the much scarier path and less financially secure path of basically being a professional substitute teacher through my 20s, because it allowed me more time to write and finish my writing. But I always think of teaching as a sacred profession, and one that I really adored doing.
We cannot let you go without talking about your two new projects, Warriors and Octet.
Yeah. Warriors has been kicking around in my brain since I was 4 years old and first saw that movie unsupervised, shown to me by a friend's older brother on VHS. And I wrote that with my good friend Issa Davis, and that'll be coming to Broadway in April of 2027 at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater.
You're going to break Broadway once again.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to be across the street from Hamilton, so that's pretty crazy. And then Octet is my second film as a director. I just finished production on that. I had the Avengers for Theater Kids of a cast with Amanda Seyfried and Jamel Tillman, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Gaten Matarazzo, Pippa Sue, Jonathan Groff, Paul Jordan Jansen.
Just a few names you might
just
know.
a bunch of killers. And they formed such a special bond. And I'm thrilled to show everyone what they did.
Big thanks to Lindsay. And you can see much more of Lindsay Davis's interview with Lin-Manuel Miranda on All Access with Lindsay Davis, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. Up next, we are down to 2 who will go head-to-head against Spain in the World Cup finals. Finally tonight, the World Cup contenders are now down to 2. It's tonight's Nightline. The results are in for the World Cup final, from a scoreless first half to a nail-biting victory for Argentina over England with a score of 2-1. Led by the incredible Lionel Messi, Argentina were favored but trailed in the second half. Then they racked up 2 goals in just minutes, nabbing the big win. Now they're set to face off against Spain this Sunday at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Just 1 win away from becoming the first back-to-back World Cup champions in more than 60 years. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu, and we will see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.